I'll just get into how I worked with the audio for a second. What I do is I have a musical background as well, so I import techniques from music composition. So there's rhythmic phrasing, rhythmic motifs. So these are elements that can repeat, tension and release, build up, ways to create drama. And here you can see, this is actually a timeline. You can see all the syllables represented by these sine waves, and you can see where I've made my decisions and how even this in itself, this arrangement of audio looks like a visual composition in a way. So the way that space is created here, these decisions, it's created like a musical composition by those sorts of rules and those sorts of techniques, and I also break some of the rules. But these spaces create space for the audience's mind and for the ear to actually interact with the audio that's happening, so that it's not like just a bunch of voices coming in at you. And also this had to be created, this was created as a loop, and the audience can enter at any moment. So this had to function as a series of cascading compositions, so that if the audience entered here, from here to here would feel like a composition. From here to here would feel like a composition. From here to here would feel like a complete composition. And in the spirit of that, I would align myself with artists like RYOJI IKEDA, who has a electronic music background, and his work is referred to as an audiovisual symphony, for example, and also socioculturally, because there's a lot of scientific overlap with his work, and also this idea of global or cultural digitization. And then visually, I also have a background in visual effects for film and 3D animation, compositing. I also import techniques from that. In this case, it's pretty simple compositing, just rotoscoping and making mats, isolating areas to control different areas and affect them in different ways. This is just a software screen capture. And then I can color correct within those areas, basically manipulating hue, saturation, value, etc. And in this sense, I might align myself with someone like Daniel ASKILL, who makes really unconventional films. Here you can see a final composite, this guy breaking through the window, or jumping through the window, but it's called We Have Decided Not to Die. He's creating this transcendent experience, the idea that he's doing this but not actually dying. And then here you can see how he created that, and you can see the whole rig, and he would basically draw shapes to isolate this area and to create the visual effects. So it's very similar, a very similar process, and then adding the background, maybe adding atmospheric perspective here, color correcting to match this color with this color, make sure the lighting matches. And then also there's Kevin MACK, who works with visual effects. I didn't use any 3D in my recent project, but he uses 3D modeling animation. He uses the same software that I use to create these things, but he also brings them into VR. Also socioculturally, there's scientific overlap. He's collaborated with physicists at CERN and taking advantage of digital technology. And speaking of VR, that seems like it could be a direction for me. I think I would like to skip over installation and building things with my hands and going out of the way just to try to hide a cord or a projector or something like that. I think that VR is a better option for me, and I think I can explore that this summer. And then I can shape space any way that I want. If you know, in installation we want it to be seamless, we're picky about a cord or a projector. I mean, in that case, I would say, well, I wouldn't like for this room to be a square. If we were to be that picky about it and want it to be that seamless, and I think virtual reality can probably serve the work. I just have to get my hands on it. And that's interesting because as I advance in technology and in methods, what I've also been doing is embracing the challenge of simplifying my work to get down to the core of it. I used to be really heavy-handed, as you can see in this image. I was into these really juicy things like, I'll get there, like Kevin MACK. I was into these really juicy, kind of heavy-handed layering and things like that. And you know, people were saying, okay, pare it down, see if you can get to the essence of this. And then my work started to look more like this. So it's going to be interesting as I advance the tools while still having in mind trying to find the simplest and most elegant solution. And then, I don't know, this is just interesting to me. I look at this work, and then recently my dad sent me this photo from 1994-ish. So I wonder if this means that I'm headed in the right direction, or if I've just been beating my head against the wall and doing exactly the same thing since '94. But